Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to day number 7 on my series of doing 100 videos in 100 days. And as you guys will probably notice as we continue to move on with this series, is some of these videos I might totally ramble. Some of these I might give you some tactics and strategies. And the topic of today is going to be the first. I'm probably going to rant a little bit, talk a little bit about something that's kind of on the forefront of my mind. And today I want to talk to you guys about branding. And the main reason I want to bring this up is because we're kind of in a era or a season in the online space that branding is the hottest topic in the market. Branding is like the most important thing. And we have a polarizing opinion on that. Same with a lot of the stuff in the things in business. So the main difference when I say brand, I don't mean color scheme. I don't mean your Canva graphics or where you're creating this presence for yourself or what that actually looks like. And to be fair, I'm not saying that, having a nice landing page or a nice, cover photo doesn't feel good, isn't validating, isn't, a good thing to have. But I think the biggest problem is people put way too much weight on this. People, like I just said, right? It's a validating thing to do in the business. You build out this landing page, you build out this cover photo, you build out this cool ebook, and it's very easy to get stuck in this loop of creating and creating and creating and optimizing your color schemes, your graphics, or the things that we perceive things to actually be as a brand. Whereas I've never had anybody tell me a single time in the entire years that I've been in this online space, hey, I don't want to buy your product because I didn't like your cover photo. Hey, yeah, I'm not gonna end up jumping in this offer with you because your logo wasn't really professional enough for me. And mind you, like the Group Juice logo that has processed about $1 million in sales, I created on Canva in about 45 seconds. It's literally just text that says Group Juice. And I know there is, the girlies and people that like the aesthetic piece, and there's nothing wrong with that, but there's something that we need to be careful with when it comes to starting and operating our business, right? It's extremely easy to get stuck in a vicious cycle of doing all these things and tweaking all these things because we feel like they will actually move the business forward, and it actually having the impact or moving the business forward. My first 12 months, I was under this pretense that I was one funnel away, right? I was building all these funnels and I was doing all these landing pages. And when things didn't start picking up, I would always go back to, I need to fix the funnel, need to change the color, need to change the copy, need to do all this different stuff, which felt like I was moving my business forward. But at the end of the day, I really wasn't. I wasn't actually getting any closer to the point of selling or making offers to people because I was putting all of my energy into the things that didn't really matter, right? And for those of you guys that have been following along on this series, you'll remember in one of the videos I mentioned there's 2 main mechanisms that I mentioned that we need to sell people on in this online space. One of them being your brand, and the second being your offer, right? And when I say brand, and when I say that, I don't mean the traditional brand, right? Most of us aren't even getting enough volume or traffic to worry about like the color of a landing page. If you're talking like big box companies, Nike, Target or whatever, yeah, they're probably going to start playing around with little things to try to see if it makes a difference. But realistically, 99% of us, myself included, aren't even getting enough attention to make that even a worry. So our perception of selling people on the brand is you, like at its core. And I know I don't want to repeat myself because I did already do a video on this piece, but deeper than the surface level stuff, right? Are you a blue collar worker? Are you a stay-at-home mom? Like all of these different things are part of your brand and who you are as a human. And that's what we need to sell people on. That's what we need to sell people on as a whole, and not necessarily worry so much about a color scheme or, the way something looks from that perspective. It's more of yourself, who you are, what you do, the life you're living. Like, so for example, I'll give you guys an actual real-time example from one of our students in one of our paid offers and in our free group. She's probably actually watching this video, Caitlin. She does a really good job at branding, in my opinion, right? She's always going out and doing stuff with her kids, her fiance. They're out doing fun stuff. They're traveling. They're eating good food. They're emulating. They're not even necessarily emulating because she's actually living this life, but she is portraying this on the internet, and there is this aura around it. Hey, that looks fun. Hey, I wish I was able to do that. I wish I was able to go out to go to eat. Wish I was able to go do this, or you know, take a chill pill and watch Netflix with my kids or whatever. Like all of that stuff is very relevant to selling products and services online. Because you're not just selling a product or an offer or a color or a logo, you are selling yourself in the life that you're living and what you're actually helping people accomplish. That would be like basically someone trying to sell the fact of becoming like a digital nomad and traveling all over the world, and then they've never been traveling, right? There's just lack of congruency there. So, and realistically, that's like the easiest type of content to create, right? Hey, I posted a picture yesterday with a cup that my daughter made me for my birthday. You know, I'm a dad. It was sweet. It was, you know, priceless to get this gift from her where she drew all over this cup and she gave me peanut butter chocolate coffee. Or like Flip posting pictures of his dogs, kids, his wife, things they're doing, going out on Easter egg hunts and doing all this different stuff. And then we start baking in other elements around what you help people do. That's like a very effective thing to look at in business. At the end of the day, the brand needs to be individualized, right? It's a personal brand. As I mentioned in the beginning of the series, it's got to be personal. You got to be you, but it's your own unique stories, your own unique lessons, experiences, everything like that are what is going to connect people to you, which then makes selling them offers extremely easier. But it's something that gets mentioned with like Taylor Swift or all of these very like The Rock, very big personal brands, right? How is it that they go into all these different things and they have success? Because they have these connections behind them, personal brands, right? Lifestyles, etc. And realistically, that's why we don't talk a lot about, you know, color schemes or setting up all of these different things. And it took me ages to actually end up launching a tech training because people in the earlier stages of business get fixated on this process and then they get stuck, right? They get stuck on changing fonts or changing colors, or hey, you're not making sales because this color doesn't match well with this, and it's like that's all fucking malarkey. Right? I've never had anybody tell me that they didn't buy from me because my cover photo. I mean, go look at Flip's cover photo right now. It's just a picture of him and his family. Right? We're still selling products. And I know today is a bit of a rant as a whole, but it's just something that I'm seeing in the market a lot right now. I think a big part of it's because, you know, the PLR stuff, you know, the reselling of products and stuff like that's extremely popular in the season we're in right now. And I don't think that it necessarily matters, in my opinion, right? Like the color you're using or the brand palette. Like you have to look deeper than the surface, right? Because realistically, at the end of the day, all we're trying to do is build connections on the internet. And the easiest and the quickest way to build connections is by baking yourself into something, sharing more of your insights, lessons, failures, and all of that stuff, and less about, you know, the thing, right? The one takeaway that I will try to give you guys for this video is your identity online doesn't have to be tied to a product itself. Realistically, your identity online needs to be tied to you as a personal, non-business, hobbies, passions, experiences, things you do, foods you love, just the shit you enjoy. Like literally, if you run a business and you like golfing, post shit about golfing, right? Or like we have a core client right now who was running 2 TikToks, and she was like, "Hey, I'm doing a cooking channel and I'm doing an online business channel and I'm getting burnt out. Like, how do I consolidate these?" And it's like, just fucking do both of them on one social. It's you. You run a business and you run an online business and you like cooking. Like, why wouldn't you share it? It's just part of your life. It's part of who you are as a person. And at the end of the day, that's the only fucking thing you got to sell somebody on is you. Right? Because if people don't have that belief in you or what you could help them do, or, you know, they don't see themselves wanting to live a lifestyle like you, or like resonate with you because you have dogs or you have kids or anything like that, you'll find it extremely difficult to actually sell them anything. And that's all I got for you guys today, right? I know this one was very tangential, so I will do my best to give you guys a little bit of a tactical training tomorrow, but it's just something that I've been seeing a lot in the market as of lately, right? Everybody's worried about colors and all this stuff, and you know, I don't perceive branding as that. I see brand as the person that you see in the mirror when you wake up every day. So there's that.